It's 5 o'clock, so let's call this meeting to order.
Hi, Deb.
Welcome, everybody. We have our
Thanks, Jeff.
roll call, please.
Okay, Chris Baum, Jen Saunders,
Here.
Doug Bruce,
Here.
Sam Gestaler,
Here.
Deb Hutton,
I'm here.
Susan Dyer, Bernard Cross, Jeff Golden,
Here.
Duncan Campbell, Derek Ritchie, Ernesto Castaneda, Jenny Souther.
Okay, so let's move on to, there's a copy of the last meeting's minutes in your packet. I hope you've all reviewed them and I'm taking on, yes. Deb.
I'll move to accept, approve the minutes of January 14th, 2021.
Second.
Okay, let's have a roll call.
Hey, John Saunders,
Yes.
Doug Bruce,
Abstain.
Sam Gestaler,
Yes.
Deb Hutton,
Yes.
Jeff Golden.
Yes.
Motion carries 4 yes, 0 no, 1 abstain.
Thank you, Dee. Just please note that Chris Sturbaum has just entered the meeting, so just note what time that is. And then I think we have Doris Sims here with us, and she wanted to give you a brief message. So, Doris?
Yes, thank you, Connor. Hello, commissioners. So I know I haven't been in a meeting in a while. I've been in and out of meetings with the Historic Preservation Commission, but I don't know if any of you, if you know or not, but tomorrow's my last day with HAND. I'll be retiring effective tomorrow after 38 years with the city of Bloomington. So I just wanted to step in and just say it's been great working with all of you over the last 5 years as I step back into the role of the HAND director. And you have a great department liaison in Connor, so he will continue to do good things for the Historic Preservation Commission. But thank you all for your service.
Thank you for your
Thank you, Doris.
Congratulations.
Very much.
Doris.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Doris.
Thank you, Doris. You've
Thank
been
you.
behind us all this time and we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Gosh, and way to go. I'm jealous, retiring. That's fantastic.
All right.
Come back and visit.
On the committee.
Okay,
Come back and visit.
I will. I will definitely do that. I'll appear in one of your Zoom meetings. I'll be just citizen Doris, which will be great.
Hey, Doris.
you, Doris.
How about
Thank
being
you.
how about being a commissioner one day for us?
I'm sure Jim will keep you up to date.
All right, so let's move on to COAs. So we have COA 21-03.
So this is a continuation from the January 14th HPC meeting. This is at 620 South Valentine Road. It's an outstanding shingle-style bungalow. It's located in the Elm Heights Local Historic District. The request is to resurface an existing concrete porch with bluestone, replace concrete walkway with bluestone, add a dry stack limestone walls along the front and rear porches, replace deteriorated shingles on the south elevation with new cedar shingles, stain and seal the remaining shingles that are on the other walls, and then remove the stucco and expose the brick columns on the front and rear porches. Staff would support the replacement of the shingles in the south elevation, support the installation of the bluestone on the walkways and porches, and facing the concrete walls with a dry stack limestone pattern. However, staff would not support removing the pebble dash stucco from the columns because this is an original feature of a notable home. And in order to maintain the integrity of that rating, I think it's important to keep the limestone on the columns. So just once again, we're seeing this again because we requested more information in the form of a more detailed site plan and drawing of the scope of work that the petitioner did provide, and I hope that the commissioners are able to review before the meeting.
Sean, do you have anything to add? Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Do you have anything to add?
No, I do not. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. No, I set up the samples as you guys had talked about, but I'd actually provided Connor some photos of, an actual dry stack limestone wall that we've installed that will be pretty much exact replication as well. Do you guys have a chance to look at the materials? You said they were bluestone, but they actually are limestone.
Oh, that's great.
It still has a bluish gray appearance, but it is categorized as a limestone.
Okay, great. Chris, do you have any questions?
Just about how you're dealing with the buildup on that concrete deck when you butt into the shingles.
Mm-hmm.
Are you cutting the shingles up? Are you just going against the shingles with your stone, or?
No, we'll probably have to lift those up slightly. It needs to go on probably about a half-inch sand base because we just don't have the threshold. Actually, in the front, we could probably do about an inch. So we will slightly lift up the cedar probably about an inch or so that we don't have direct contact with the cedar.
Well, aren't you just laying it in a mortar base?
It's a polymeric sand. It's not a mortar base.
On the
it goes on a sand. Okay, we'll actually mortar the edges to hold back the sand, but then it's dry laid on sand, and a polymeric sand, which is a bonding sand, goes in the joints. It's a really tight pattern.
Okay, won't that cause decay against the house like that?
It won't be touching the house, and if it's not flashed, then we'll make sure it's flashed.
Okay, when it's on the porch floor,
mm-hmm.
How does it not touch the house?
That's what you were just talking about, lifting up the cedar shakes. Is that not what you were implying? Yes, and I said we might have to lift it up about an inch.
How thick is this stone?
Less than an inch.
I'll be darned.
It's super dense.
Okay, well, you probably ought to be flashing that too, but that's not the approval. That's just questioning.
Right.
What
did you hear me say that we would flash it if needed?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay, thank you for that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So number one is just clarifying that what you're putting on the bluestone is just layered right on top of the current porch concrete. You're not taking away any materials. You might be smoothing it, but you're not taking away any of the concrete porch materials, right?
Correct. We're using the existing base or the existing concrete and going right over it.
Okay. And could you if we approve this COA as staff has recommended, which is regarding the columns, that the pepper dash be replaced for the original look, according to staff's research. Can you explain again a little more clearly of what you're prepared to do to put the pepper dash on in a way that would be appropriate, stay stuck there for a long time and not weather off in the next
contact our mason on that.
So?
Yeah, we'll have to sub out to a mason on that because we're not familiar with that process at all.
Okay. Do you know if there are masons around the Bloomington, Monroe County area that do pepper dash? Pebble dash, sorry.
I've never seen pepper dash before, and that's why I didn't think it was original.
Thanks.
Excuse me, Doug,
No questions.
Sam?
Yeah, I got a couple of questions. Connor, would you go to the plan drawing that the applicant submitted in the packet? All right, so it looks like you've got 2x3 limestone slabs, and you're doing those in like a running bond pattern?
It'll be staggered, correct? The bonds will. There will be no running bonds.
So it's staggered, but it's sort of irregularly staggered.
Correct.
All right. So my main question is, okay, you've got a 4-foot wide new limestone dry stack wall with boxwood, it's labeled. So it's 4 foot wide, 3 foot of his planter. So I'm assuming that you're basically doing a 1 foot thick dry stack wall. Is that fair to say?
That is correct.
So what is the height, the top of the dry stack wall as compared to the surface of the porch?
Same level.
All right, so that's great. And then, so you're basically gonna do a return back to the steps so that you sort of fence in the steps on each side, those new limestone stairs, 7 by 18 by 6 footers.
Exactly. And I did, I went ahead and ordered those. We use them all the time, but I ordered the ones that you guys wanted, just the straight milk face. So they're not split.
Gotcha. And those are gonna have to be on concrete footers, right?
Yes. I don't know if we'll be able to leave that concrete in that particular area, but no, it won't be on a concrete footer. It'll be on a crushed stone base, compacted is how we install them.
Ah, so you just do a sort of a sand and gravel and plop them down, call it done.
Yeah, we don't use sand on that. We typically use number 11 gravel and we vibratory compact.
Gotcha. So the last question I got on the paving and the wall and all that is, so that at the edges of the concrete slab, where you're going to have an exposed front face, both at the limestone stairs and also as it goes around the corner at the back of the planter, how are you planning on dealing with that vertical face and the intersection of the vertical face with the new horizontal, the new bluestone surface?
So the wall will actually come up. It'll hide all the existing concrete face, but we will actually have a mortar edge going all the way around the patio to retain the sand, so the sand doesn't seep out. But basically, the retaining wall will be coming pretty much to the exact same height as the patio, so you won't see any of that concrete, if that was your question.
I guess what I am, hang on, I disappeared. Let me bring me back.
Sure.
So my big question, and it still is, I'm unsure, is what's going on. You've got a foot thick wall that faces the street, and then you've got 3 feet of dirt, right?
With boxwoods in it, correct?
With boxwoods and mulch and all that stuff, which is going to settle. So my question is, you've still got that front face of concrete that is exposed to the outside, and how is that going to be surfaced in any way, or is it just going to be bare concrete? The existing is going to be exposed, or
exposed. I mean, it'll be completely hidden. The soil and the mulch will come direct or all the way to the top. We put in fabric behind the retaining wall, so it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't settle.
So, and then the edge and what do you use to keep the polymeric sand in at that front edge?
That's mortar. So it'd just be masonry mortar.
So there's a masonry mortar edge you're going to see there as well?
Again, it comes all the way up to the top. You might see, I mean, again, we're also working with grade coming away from the house so that we have negative grade coming off. So it might be a 1/2 inch joint at that point. But you'll have mulch all the way up to that, pretty much right up to that edge. And if for some reason we can't, hide the face, which I don't see why we can't, we'll probably just we'll essentially take a masonry adhesive and put the same stone on a few inches of concrete, I think is kind of what you were you were talking about, but you won't see any of the concrete. That's our objective of the walls, is to hide the concrete because it's so deteriorated.
Gotcha. And and those limestone stairs, are they just going to be dry stacked as well, or are they going to be mortared between them?
No, they're solid. So it's a 7-inch by 4 foot by an 18-inch slab.
All right. So then the last question I got is, okay, so you've got the new limestone stairs, but the last riser is not going to be covered with anything. So you're going to see that concrete there.
No, it goes all the way up. It goes all the way up to the same height of the.
So you've got one. So you've got that top step is at the same elevation as the. It's just making the surface of the porch come out one tread width.
Exactly.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you very much. That's all I got.
Sure. Good questions.
John?
And I eliminated the patio in the back. We decided not to do that, especially since it was kind of causing problems. We just decided to eliminate the patio in the back.
John?
Yes.
I have no comments or questions.
Okay, any questions from anybody else on the call today? Okay, Commissioner comments. Chris?
Yeah, just, I think it's important that a sample be shown of the treatment of the columns and that staff approve that before it's proceeded with.
Sure. I agree. No problems at all with that.
Thank you.
Deb?
That would be my only comment too. What Chris just said is approval of the Pebble Dash, the actual materials and process, and then an expert is going to put it up.
Doug?
Yeah, I missed last meeting on this. I tried to read all the notes in the minutes. I agree with what Chris is saying here on these, and I think staff could approve that.
Sam?
The only comment I got is I'm going to bring up that house over at Fesson University again, which is a 3-part plaster house, and it's next door to a bunch of houses that have this Pebble Dash surfacing on it. And so if I'm not, trying to sell anybody, but the contractor I used to do the plaster on that was an amazing guy. So if you're having a hard time finding people, get in touch with Connor and I'll pass his name along.
Great. Did you say that was at Fesson University?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
John?
I have no comments.
I also have no comments. So I'm entertaining a motion. Deb, you're muted.
Sorry, sometimes it works when I use the space bar and the other times it doesn't. My apologies. So I move that the Bloomington Historic Preservation Commission approve COA 2105, address 608 West Dodge Street. Whoops, wrong one.
103.
I know, got the wrong one. I've moved on already. Sorry. Okay, COA 2103 at 620 South Valentine Road. That we support the staff recommendations of replacing the shingles on the south elevation and installing the bluestone on the walkway and porches and facing the concrete walls of the porch with dry stacked limestone pattern, and not approve removing the Pebble Dash stucco from the columns. Do I also say we recommend or command that the Pebble Dash stucco be replaced with the approval of staff?
We're going to require that, yes.
I'll second that.
Okay. Roll call?
Chris Sturbaum,
Yes.
Don Saunders,
Yes.
Ed Bruce,
Yes.
Sam DeSaller,
Yes.
Jeff Golden.
Yes.
Deb Hutton?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Deb. I missed.
Yes.
Deb. Okay, motion carries 6-0. yes, 0 no, 0 abstain.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for your patience.
No problem. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Looks gonna look good.
Okay, let's move on to COA 21-05.
This is 608 West Dodge Street. It's a contributing California bungalow located in the McDowell Local Historic District. The request is for the installation of a photovoltaic system on the west-facing planes of the primary and porch roofs. So we have a few panels here and a few panels here. The property is located on a corner lot, so the solar panels will be visible from both Fairview and Dodge Streets. Staff supports the installation of the photovoltaic system because the panels will have the same pitch of the roof, and the district design guidelines support alternative energy systems and sustainability goals. So for those reasons, staff would recommend approval of COA 21-05. And is Michael Valiant the petitioner here?
Oh, man.
I'm here.
Okay, great.
Anything to add, Michael?
I'm sorry?
Anything to add?
Only to comment that the first comment would be that the historic district on the previous slide was as the Garden Hill and not McDowell, if that matters.
Oh, well, we know it's McDowell.
Okay. No, I don't have anything to add. We've been working with Whole Sun, and they can better speak to the materials and the installation than I can. I'm representing merely as the petitioner.
Great, thank you. Chris, you have any questions? Chris?
No,
Deb, any questions?
No questions.
Doug?
Nope, no questions.
Pam?
Just did the neighborhood weigh in on this one?
I actually did not reach out to the neighborhood.
No worries, thanks.
John?
No questions.
I also don't have any questions. Any questions from the gallery?
Should I ask one again now?
Yes.
Since Connor didn't hear from neighbors, Michael, do you have any houses in a couple blocks of you that also have solar panels on them?
Yeah, to the west of us, the third house on the north side of Dodds has an array on the east-facing slope of the roof, and that's a pitched roof, not a hipped.
So solar panels are just sort of seeping into your area right now.
Yeah. I haven't walked around the neighborhood really paying attention to the number of arrays that have been installed in the neighborhood.
Thanks.
I think there's another one on Wiley to the north and west of Fairview, but yeah, and I certainly can't speak for my neighbors, but I think the inclusion of the sustainable energy and the historic district and the neighborhood's initial plan goal of not having the historic designation indicates sort of an openness, a preference for more leniency on what we can do on the houses in our neighborhood.
Sure, thanks.
Okay, Chris, do you have any comments?
this is kind of a question, but I wonder if you considered moving your vent and your plumbing vent to add 2 more panels, because those can be moved in the attic, but it costs more money.
Yeah, we decided aesthetically, my wife and I, to go for a smaller number of panels, just for the, it was just our preference to have fewer panels, even though it's going to reduce the amount of energy that we generate. But
see the 2 missing spots?
I do.
That's just because of vents. That's all I was thinking.
I do, yeah. And we could have fit more panels if we had decided to move those, but we decided to go with this number.
Sure.
We got a quote for, I think the maximum number was 18, and we preferred the 13.
Right. Cool. Thanks.
Yep.
Way to go, Michael. I love mine. I think you'll love yours.
Doug?
Congratulations. I like seeing this taking place.
Doug?
Yeah, I think we're gonna, I expect we see more of this, and I don't really have a problem with them. I think it's something that we've got to look forward to in the future.
Sam?
No, I'm really happy to see this happening. I hope to be your neighbor in not too long, and you'll see a bunch of solar panels on mine as well. So thanks for blazing trails. Appreciate it.
Sure. Where are you moving in?
I got to build it first.
John?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with the solar panels and congratulating on him moving forward with the project.
I'm also going to support this COA. So I'm entertaining a motion.
I move to approve COA 2105.
Second. That was Sam.
Okay, Chris Sturbaum,
Yes.
Use a technique.
John Saunders,
Yes.
Doug Bruce,
Yes.
Sam DeSaller,
Yes.
Deb Hutton,
Yes.
Jeff Golden.
Yes.
Motion carries 6 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, so let's move on to demo delay, and we're going to go to demo delay 21-02. And Carol, you're with us, right?
I am.
Great.
All right, so this is 1006 South Lincoln Street. This is request is for the full demolition of an accessory structure. It's a garage that is from the same era of construction as the primary structure, which is, we estimate, around 1920. So, you know, I went out there and took a look around. This is the primary structure here. This is the view from South Lincoln. You can see the accessory structure in question back here. You know, I took a few photos just walking down the alley, and, you know, it's pretty dilapidated. Actually, on one of the corners, I didn't get a photo of it, is this corner over here. I was able to peek in and see that some of the roof joists were eaten up by termites. So, you know, staff would recommend releasing demo delay 2102.
Anything to add, Carol?
It's about to fall down, so better we take it down probably than it fall down.
Chris, any questions?
Sure.
Chris?
Yes. Do you realize it will be hard to put a structure back on that corner because of setbacks? Like if you try to rebuild exactly there, it'll be a problem, I would imagine.
If we rebuild, we'll probably try to set it back a little bit farther.
You might be surprised how much farther that might be. I suggest you ask planning, because we've run into the problem where you need to either get a variance or put it's almost scoots into your yard. You know, if you have 5, that's a rear yard setback and a side yard setback, and it might surprise you that even though that's the perfect place to put the building, you may not have a right to unless you do something that's kind of a repair or a restore of that. So that's just something for your knowledge, because you can step in it that way and be unpleasantly surprised.
Right, and I appreciate that, Chris. And we have been in contact with planning, and this one won't come down until we have the permit to build a new one and we have that all worked out.
Good idea. Thank you.
I appreciate it, Chris.
Deb?
No, thank you. No questions.
Doug?
No questions.
Sam?
No questions.
John?
No questions.
I also don't have any questions. Commissioner comments?
Yeah, I would just say that Jeff and I have both restored this kind of garage. I've done several of them. It is possible, but I'm not trying to sell my work or anything like that. I'm just letting you know that it's doable. That's all.
Deb?
No comments.
Doug,
No comments.
Sam,
If you do end up needing or run into trouble putting your new garage where it wants to go, I'm sure the HPC will support you in trying to get a variance for it. So we're here for you if you need it.
Great, great, thank you.
John,
The only thing I would make comment about, Carol, is that if you do replace the garage, could you try to get some doors to try to get to blend in back with that neighborhood? I mean, the doors going into it are pretty cool. So if we kind of rebuild it and kind of bring back some of that look, that would be great.
Okay.
no comments. So,
One more comment.
yes,
I like the garage. It's got those cool brackets on it. Just give it a little thought before you say no. And you can get an overhead door that replicates old doors, and you might be able to make that into a modern garage, but you know best really what you need on your site.
okay. Today, regarding the property located at 1006 South Lincoln Street, Historic Preservation Commission declares that it got notice of the proposed demolition, and after today's discussion, sees no need to review the plans any further and waives the rest of the demolition delay period. The HPC may later recommend the property for historic designation to the Common Council.
Second,
Steve?
Hey, Chris Sturbaum,
Yes.
John Saunders,
Yes.
Doug Bruce,
Yes.
Sam DeSaller,
yes.
Deb Hutton,
Yes.
Jeff Golden.
Yes.
Motion carries 6 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you,
Good
guys.
luck.
Have a good evening.
Thank
Oh, and
you.
your house has a nice railing to it. Forgot to tell you that.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks, Carol.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, so let's move on to new business. Doesn't look like we have any new business. Doesn't look like we have any old business. Any commissioner comments tonight? Sam?
I just want to compliment Connor on his presentations at the full meeting of the City Council for the 2 recommendations for historic preservation on the both the Players Pub and the oh gosh, what was the other one?
Or
Thank you.
I'll second that. Good job, Connor.
Thank you, guys.
Same thing.
Any other commissioner comments? Any public comments? Any announcements? Okay, let's call the meeting. Thank you all.
Have a good
good
week.
night all.
Sure.
Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
All right.